Welcome to Bourbon and Bond with the Boys. I'm Nick.
And I'm Dave.
We're back with another episode of Bourbon. That's stupid. Let's do it again.
Let's start over.
Okay. Welcome to Bourbon and Bond with the Boys. I'm Nick.
And I'm Dave.
We're back with another episode. This time we have... we can say it, right?
We have to say it.
I mean... Yeah.
It's the name of the movie.
It's the
name of part of the name
one.
of it's Octopussy.
We're back with Octopussy. Last episode, for your eyes only, we talked about having a really nice break from Stupid Bond. We enjoyed that very much.
It was short-lived.
We're back.
But here at Bourbon and Bond with the Boys, Bond is only half the story. We have bourbons to go with our bonds. However,
we're going to deviate hard.
This is a deviation.
This is a full-on detour.
But by the time we're done explaining it, I think you're going to agree this was a worthwhile deviation. So we started off like we always do, looking for a bourbon that matches, the name of the movie or the theme of the movie, which we couldn't figure out, or someone who's in the movie. And while we were beginning that search, we came across a distillery in Alaska, Port Chilkoot Distillery, and they make a vodka with an octopus on the friggin' label.
I mean, you can't.
There was no way to turn this down. We thought, even if it's crap, we got to try it.
Yeah, we were looking for, any whiskey at that point when we were doing our search, any whiskey that had an octopus on the label.
Or was clown-shaped.
That was made with pieces of real octopus. Made with pieces... No. But luckily our research took us to Port Chilkoot vodka with an octopus prominently
on the label. The beautiful thing about this is my wife likes vodka more than whiskey, so she doesn't get into my whiskeys. But she got into this vodka, and so it being opened... you know why it was opened. There was some thievery going on.
That doesn't sound like a good thing to me. It sounds like...
If your wife is stealing vodka from you, that's not a bad thing.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
This is... I've already made... Oh, that was robust.
Yeah.
I've already made a decision. At some point, I'm taking a vacation. I'm going up to Haines, Alaska, where the Port Chilkoot Distillery is. They have a tasting room. They do distillery tours. This is owned by Heather Shade and Sean Copeland. David Thomas is their distiller. Guys, in Alaska, if you want to send us, I will do this commercial every episode. Send us more free booze. Bottled at a robust Alaskan strength 90 proof. Icy straight vodka is a smooth sipping spirit. We blend it with pure local water, pour it into a bottle labeled with an octopus, and there you have it. An exceptionally clean, flavorful vodka. We'll be the judge of that. With just a hint of sweetness imparted by the corn it's distilled from. Or as you would say it correctly, from which it is distilled. Icy straight vodka is the perfect canvas for your favorite cocktail, or simply enjoy it icy straight.
That was well done.
So
well done.
Guys, this is starting to run out, so send us more. I'll do that every week. Let us sample the octopus labeled Port Chilkoot icy straight vodka.
Cheers.
Damn, that's just... I'm not much of a vodka drinker, but that's good.
It is good.
I'd drink that on purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, if somebody says, let's have some vodka, I'm going to say, well, do you have Port Chilkoot?
Well, and see, the thing for me is vodka, historically speaking, I don't enjoy it because it's just alcohol. There's nothing behind it. That's probably because I'm drinking crap vodka.
Maybe.
Could be all on me and my decisions. This one, though, has something behind it.
That hint of sweetness, they're 100% correct.
Exactly right. Yeah, there's a kind of floral evolution there that lasts quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's still lingering there. It's a very pleasant aftertaste.
Yeah.
And it doesn't give me that burn. Ugh,
but you can tell you're drinking vodka and not punch.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I can also tell that I'm drinking vodka and not whiskey.
Not whiskey.
So, yeah, this episode of Bourbon and Bond with the Boys brought to you by Port Chilkoot Vodka.
Well done, folks.
That's delicious.
Well done.
Fantastic.
This is really yummy stuff. So if you are a vodka drinker or just want to try it, highly recommend it. Now, I also want to say, I went through their website. This is not the only thing they make. They're not a vodka distillery. They have 5 Fathoms Gin, Green Siren Absinthe, Boatwright Bourbon, which doesn't have an octopus on the label, sadly. Do you see the theme going on in the names here? Rackline Rye, Seaworthy Rum, Old Shoal Whiskey, and Aquavit.
I think we need to sample all of those things. They all sound fantastic.
Yeah.
And if only their bourbon would have a freaking octopus on it. Or be made with bits of real octopus. Then we could sample that along with... You know what? No, there's no reason to do that, because then I would have more reason to watch Octopussy. Let's dive into this thing.
We're moving on. Yeah. There's only 2 more to go, and we can move on. I think we talked about the 70s, having an impact on them, not taking themselves seriously. And I think it's going to take something remarkable to shake them out of this, and it's going to be switching bonds, I think.
Yeah.
So we're going to see clown mode now for 2 more movies.
You had asked previously about whether it's the decade, if it's a thing with the 70s or if it's more
everything.
He's carrying it into the next decade. And
how do they get out of it? They can't seem to get themselves out of
it. They can't stop. So you said we have 2 more. We have 1 more.
Well, this
right?
one.
Oh, this one.
This
and the
one.
Next one. Okay.
And the more tragic
Thank
one.
goodness. I had forgotten. I was worried I forgot one in there somewhere.
I read up a little on Octopussy, the source material. The Octopussy story comes from the last book of Ian Fleming. It was actually published posthumously. It was a book of short stories, and the book was called Octopussy and the Living Daylights. Story itself is not the plot of the movie. They completely wrote an entirely new movie, has nothing to do with it. They took the name. They also borrowed something else. Now, let me just read from a synopsis of the plot of the story, the short story written by Ian Fleming. Bond is sent to apprehend Major Dexter Smythe, who after the war found some gold with the help of a mountain guide and killed the guide to keep the gold for himself. Bond chooses not to take Smythe into custody immediately, but leaves him to contemplate his options, suicide or court-martial. Now, doesn't that sound familiar? What they did do is they grabbed the plot of the story and they used that as Octopussy's backstory. And this is what she tells James Bond the first time he meets him on her floating palace, whatever.
Yes.
And this is why she doesn't kill him, doesn't want him killed.
And that gets completely lost.
It just disappears.
It gets completely lost.
Oh, wait. Octopussy. Weird name. The whole time Smythe is, on the lam, he's living out on this beach. He has a pet octopus that he's named Octopussy. It's his pet.
And that isn't what he calls his daughter?
I don't remember a daughter.
That's what Maud says is his pet name for her. Yeah.
And I don't think there's a daughter in the book.
Okay.
But that's where they got the name.
Well,
it wasn't just to be dirty. Dirty was a happy coincidence.
More sense.
Okay.
Thank you for the backstory. It does help clear things up for me in my stupid brain because I had lost all of it. It was all gone.
Yeah.
And even on the rewatch, I tried piecing things together. The issue here is that there's so much bullshit happening, okay? You have plot lines going every which way. There are different people. We start off with one villain and one set of henchmen and move to another villain with a completely different henchman. By the end of the movie, maybe we have a third villain who actually knows. It's just a mess.
How do you dive into the plot where you can't even really articulate what the plot completely is?
I don't know, and that's what we
got
had
lost.
We had a serious issue with this one. We tried desperately to be level-headed and put this down on paper, and you just can't do it.
My initial notes don't make any sense at all.
Nope.
I actually had to cut and paste some text from a website that tried to create a synopsis of the plot.
I had to read through IMDb to try to put my thoughts, because I had my thoughts written down, but I didn't have them in an order that made any sense at all, because I wrote them down as we're watching the movie. You can't do that with this one. You have to piece everything together afterward.
No. Yeah.
So we've got General Orlov.
Maniacal.
Love Orlov.
General Orlov.
He's fantastic.
And
he's
a fantastic
great.
Actor.
Yes. He wants the Soviet Union to be the nuclear superpower and destroy everybody. De-armament of the entire world so that now the Soviets are the only ones with nuclear weapons and they can just expand and spread communism to the entire world. So that's one plot line. Part of that is also somehow forgery of Russia's national treasures.
He's stealing these jewels jewels
He's stealing jewels and having them copied
to make fakes,
to sell the fakes.
but it doesn't seem like he's using the money that they get to do his plot.
But that's what they're supposed to do, right?
But it doesn't
But are
seem
they?
like that's-
Is he just holding on to the real ones and then selling the
I
fake
don't
ones
know.
at the auctions?
So this is where Kamal Khan comes in, because his game is get the real jewels and sell them and make money. So him, at least you can understand.
Yeah.
And where does Octopussy come into this?
Khan.
Enlists her to smuggle shit.
Right. Yeah.
So-
she has her father's smuggling business.
She's gone legit, kinda, but not entirely.
Well, no, because she's diversified into
legit.
hotels, casinos,
And
circuses. Come on. Anyway, she still is running the smuggling operation and is smuggling these gems to wherever they need to go. Who knows?
It's almost like Orloff wanted to use the smuggling operation not to make himself money for his plot, but so that he could slip the nuclear bomb into the train to blow up the Air Force Base.
Right.
In
We had
West
that
Germany.
too. It's a mess. It's just a mess. This is a 4. It's a 4 out of 10 because it's so difficult to articulate what's happening. What's happening is not bad per se.
Some of it's bad.
We love nuclear domination, right?
That would be a decent plot line.
Yeah, we love sneaking bombs from East Germany into West, bad Germany into good Germany. How did this blow up? We don't know. The Russians didn't launch anything. It must have been a nuclear weapon that detonated by itself. And now the West will be forced to talk about de-armament. That's a cool plot line. You throw it in with the rest of the bull in this movie.
Now it doesn't make
it's
any
not
damn
cool
sense.
anymore. It's not cool anymore.
And Khan on his own at the beginning is interesting, and Orloff on his own at the beginning is interesting, and then they bring Octopussy into it, and I'm not sure her role is necessary, although any excuse to have Maude Adams in the movie is good.
That's all.
But
Yeah.
but it's just a convoluted mess, and I think we're being polite giving it a 4.
Is that a number we agreed on?
It's a number we agree on. It does make it the second lowest plot rating. Dr. No.
Yeah.
They hadn't fully fleshed that bad boy out.
Right. A good chunk of the plot lines are decent. I want to give it credit where it's due. Because they get jumbled up, it's not middle of the road anymore. It's just below
It's
that.
below that.
It's 4.
It's
4 out
four.
of 10 for the plot.
Roger Moore is now 56 now, and it's
Badly.
tough.
Yep. The acting, it's
It's horrific.
the opening sequence where they fly the really cool mini plane. That's a great opening sequence. It's fantastic. I love it. He gets done flying the plane, blowing up the bad guys, whatever. Rolls down the street to the gas pump.
Oh God.
Fill her up, please.
I
And does that little head twisting smirk at the camera.
wrote this in my notes about that opening scene. Old man Bond sneaks into an air show and disguises himself as a federale officer with the help of Tina Hudson as Bianca, who helps him escape when he gets his dumb old ass captured. Then he gets away in the cool mini plane until his dumb ass runs out of fuel and he pulls into the service station. I mean, it's just a whole trap. And one of the worst lines of the movie is when he puts on his badge for his disguise and his name is Toro and he says something like,
Sounds like a load of
oh my God, it's just horrific.
I hated it.
That's how the movie starts.
Yeah, and the first note that I wrote down was it's so appropriate that we start the film with a giant horse's ass on the screen.
Yeah. He's bad. He looks used in the jungle. He looks used when he gets out of the
Oh,
jungle.
yeah.
He's just beat up.
He
Not used
can't
to-
do the fight scenes anymore
No, we're not
because
used
he's
to
too old
Bond
to
being-
film them.
it's just
He can't film the
used.
choreography.
Yeah.
So you've got to have stuntmen filling in every step of the way, and that makes it so that you can't get close-ups of the fight, so you don't have Bond doing the action. I have a 3.
We're giving him a 3 because this is the best category he scores in.
Yeah. We're moving right along to masculinity. Holy crap.
If a woman gets in front of you at a phone booth while a nuclear bomb is about to start a chain of events that launches World War III, a license to kill secret agent, I think, has permission from the rest of the world to physically move her out of your way. He stands outside the phone booth and waits for her impatiently, not knowing what to do.
Get that out of the phone.
Oh my
booth.
God, the
He
world's
asked,
gonna die.
Can I get in there?
Holy
no. Let me in
shit.
there. Physically remove her from the booth. Save the world. That's your job.
Oh man.
Anyway.
It was bad.
Anyway, it's bad.
It's tragic.
And then as we were doing the rewatch, it's funny the first time through when he zooms the camera in on her boobs. It's kind of funny, right? It's Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes, right?
Yeah.
This is what Calvin would do. He zooms in on the boobs, and boobs are on the screen. Yeah, Beavis, right? And you kind of chuckle at it, and then the second time around, it might just be because we're stuck in the series right now that I'm so frustrated. But you look at it and you go, "What is he? 12? What are you doing?" And then Q says it to him. He says, I don't have time for these adolescent antics.
He's absolutely right.
The fact that they call it out means he loses masculinity points.
The only time he picks up a gun before the end of the movie, he gets it kicked out of his hand by an unnamed henchman on the rickshaw chase. It's almost like he pulled it out of its holster in order to have it kicked out of his hand. He is a MI6 agent.
He sucks. 2 for masculinity. Quickly, hotness.
There isn't any?
Nope.
We're going 1 because we don't feel like we can go lower
I
than
don't
that?
think we can go 0.
So we're going
I
1?
don't know that we can go 0. We gave him a 1 because he's just decrepit.
Pathetic and
He's
sad.
just decrepit at this point, and he looks it, he acts it, except for his dip sense of humor.
So bad.
He is someone's grandpa, and please just stop. We beg of you to stop.
And they didn't.
And they didn't. There's one more. So we've got a 3-2-1 for Bond. That brings us to a 6.
6 out of 15.
6 out of 15.
And that's probably more than he deserved.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah. Is this the lowest we've had?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah. 6 is the lowest.
Okay.
He had another 6 in Moonraker. This is just as bad as Moonraker.
It's just a 6 in different categories.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Okay. Villain.
Orloff is played by Stephen Burkoff. Is this the man that wrecked the buffet at the Harold Club this morning?
He's fantastic.
Beverly Hills Cop. He's a bad guy in Beverly. We love him.
He's
right?
a great. He's
He's
does
maniacal.
A fantastic job.
He's a
The way
megalomaniac.
The way he's speaking to Gogol, he's the new Ruski on the block, and boy, he is not having any of this old man's crap.
No.
He is just interested in advancing his own agenda, and he does it so very well.
Yep.
And then he kind of pouts, like he shows that he's the newbie, right? He shows that he's just
The upstart.
yeah, but he's great. I think he does a fantastic job.
Yeah.
The problem here is, who's the villain?
Is it him or is it Kamal Khan, also played by a very good actor, Louis Jourdan?
He's great.
And he's very good in parts of this.
But he plays a butler.
He's everybody's friggin' butler.
He's almost a henchman to Octopussy, who is possibly a third villain.
We're not sure at first.
Who knows?
He's
right?
taking orders from He's taking orders from her. He's taking orders from Orloff. Gobinda is about the only guy he gives orders to.
Well, he gets talked down to by Magda.
Everybody.
Like, it's a mess.
Yeah.
For villain, what we decided to do is leave Octopussy out of it because by the end of the movie, it's clear that she's not really the villain. She's kind of doing some shady stuff, but she's not advancing the plot of nuclear domination. She's a Bond girl. Yeah. Maud is not in the villain rating, so we're stuck with Orlov and Khan. Orlov we like. He's a maniacal bastard. He's fighting for, Soviet advancement in the height of the Cold War. This is huge, right, for the time period.
Sure.
He does a fantastic job. He's a great actor. 8 for him. What we then did is considered Khan.
He's a petty thief.
He's a petty thief. He's taking orders from everyone. He's a butler. He's not a good villain. We like the actor.
The actor's good.
He plays it very well.
Yeah.
But he's a 4 for villain. So that's what we did. We went with 8 and 4 in villain. That gives you a 12.
Average
and then
of-
divide it by 2, that's a 6.
It's a 6. I don't know how else to do it.
And I think 6 is not a bad villain score.
It's higher probably than the movie deserves.
Agreed.
But the actors probably deserve
The
a
actors
6.
the actors deserved better than a 6. Moving on to henchmen.
This is a big, scary dude.
Yeah,
Gobinda's a big,
massive.
scary dude.
He's huge.
And he's one of those villains. You know how sometimes like the good guy's doing something and nobody notices because he sees stuff. At every stage of the movie, he like catches something out of the corner of his eye and he goes to thwart it. He's pretty decent henchman.
Yeah. He is on it, man.
Yeah.
Like when he's walking down the hallway and spots the door open.
Yeah.
He knows and he
catches
checks it
stuff.
out. He is aware. He's capable. He's intimidating.
He's big.
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
And actor does very well.
Does well.
He portrays him well.
He's good looking enough.
Yeah.
That when he's scary, it hurts more.
Mm-hmm. He's not Jaws.
No,
right? He's not Jaws scary. He's
scary.
Yeah. So he's a 5.
I think he's a 5.
He's a 5 out of 5 for
He's
the
a good henchman.
We have to call out the twins because technically the twins are henchmen for somebody.
Maybe they're Gobinda's henchmen.
We don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But they're henchmen at the
They're like
beginning.
little stabby twins.
Yeah. The twins are Orlov's henchmen.
They're circus folk.
Well, at the beginning, right, they're reporting back to Orlov at how their attack on 009 went.
Connies.
Yeah.
Small hands smell like cabbage.
So, honorable mention to the twins, who we did not include in the henchman score.
Maybe like peripheral babeness, they help round up. If we're like a 4.5 on Gobinda,
yeah, if
he's
there
a 5.
is an opportunity for rounder-uppers, then peripheral henchmanness, maybe. But there's not
He doesn't
because
need it.
Gobinda gets a 5.
He doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Before we start talking about the Bond girls, I would like to issue a preemptive apology for the woman who plays Magda, Christina Wayborn. I apologize for everything we're about to say about you.
Yeah, it ain't going to be nice.
Okay. Let's start, though, with Maud Adams as Octopussy.
That's where you want to start with,
where I want to
with
start.
Maud? Okay.
Let's start with Maud.
Maud's a 4 for acting.
Maud's always a 4. She
does a great job.
Yeah.
She does a great job. She has matured since the last time we saw her.
Yes.
And I think her acting has improved. She
good.
did a fine job in here.
She's good. In a bad movie with a bad script, she did good.
Yep. She is a 4 for acting. Hotness, she's a 4.
I think she's a 4. I think any doubts about her being a 4 come from the fact that she's standing next to this relic and it makes her look older. I mean, you think, oh man, Maud must be what? And that's 45, 46. She's 38. She's just standing next to this old man and it hurts her, but it's not her fault.
Yes. You see the two of them together, your brain teases you
It
into
does.
thinking they're the same age.
Yeah.
So you subconsciously age her more than she deserves.
Well, and she's not a character that's intimidated. She's a character that holds her own against the other characters because she's this worldly blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And so that also helps you think, oh, she's the same.
Okay.
She's not. She's a 4. She deserves a 4.
Character, though, I think is a 5. Now, your backstory, that really did help boost this from a 4 to a 5. Originally, she was all 4s because I didn't remember. I couldn't possibly track what that interaction was between them and why she is who she is.
Yeah.
So I think having a better
Why
understanding
the
of
cult
that.
of the octopus? Right.
Yes. Understanding that. I don't know if it deserves a 5, but
I'm giving it a 4 because I think her character gets lost a little bit in the convoluted nature of the plot.
so I'm going 5. Dave's going 4.
Love Maud
With-
Adams. Love Maud Adams.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
3. She's in 3 Bond movies. Wait for next time.
Now we have to talk about Magda.
Oh my God. Wait. Let's start with something polite. 40 years ago, great body.
She's 2 acting. Her line deliveries are piss poor
You know why she got a 2 for acting?
because she's not dubbed.
Because she has a great body. I don't know that a 2 is fair, but I think she's a 1.5 and her body gives her an extra half a point.
If she has the facial expressions don't match.
Let's don't talk about her face. Can we not talk about her face?
maybe it's a Swedish thing that her facial expressions don't match. what
Mods
she's
do.
saying.
She's Swedish.
Oh no, you're right. That's fair. Then I have no excuse.
You could land a f***ing 747 on her forehead.
Yeah, you
Can
sure
we
could.
just be honest for a second? I apologize.
Just a
but
walking
that
helipad.
forehead-
You know what happened? This helped her. At the very end, they're in the circus. She's got a hat on.
That helped.
That's all they had
That
to do.
helped.
Put a hat on her.
Veil?
Hide that
Anything.
thing so
Here's
that
the
it's not a beacon
The worst
to
part.
all the emergency aircraft land here.
It's not the worst feature she had. When she's going in to kiss
man.
Bond,
Oh, man.
there is something wrong with that woman's mouth. She reminded me of that monster in the old original Star Trek that was like sucking all the moisture out of a person's body and just leaving like minerals. I was like, what is she doing? It's so bad. And I was like, don't let her kiss anyone. It's so awkward. But when she talks, none of this moves right.
We made a note in the last episode of Roger Moore being an ugly kisser. Magda is just as ugly.
Oh, it's so awkward.
It's
just
weird.
awkward.
She's trying to suck his soul out, but not in a sexy way. It's so
so
strange.
bad.
It's so strange. The body is the only reason that she gets a 2 for hotness.
I give her a 2-3-1. I give her a 2 for acting, a 3 for hotness, because if you don't look at any of this, she's got a great body.
I can't do it. I've got her at a 2. Character, I've got her at a 1. Because
Who is she?
We both have her at a 1.
Whose
right?
side's she on?
No clue. Is she working for Khan? Is she working for Octopussy? There's no telling. When she takes his picture because she likes to have trophies of what? People that she kills? Where is she going with this?
Come on, man.
I don't get it, dude. It's just it's so undeveloped.
I can say another pleasant thing about her. She's not BB.
No, she's not BB. You're exactly right. That's fair. She is.
God.
I have her at a 2-2-1.
Okay, I have 2-3-1.
Okay.
And again, we're going to end up with the same total score for
Yeah, we sure are.
category.
So that means we came out with an average of 3-3-3 for Bond
There
Girls.
is a
Yeah.
shit ton of perif. There are 18 actresses that in IMDb are listed with the title Octopussy Girl. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. We've got Bianca.
Yes,
Bianca's
Bianca's good.
fantastic.
She's good.
Great perif.
There's that one Octopussy girl that's wearing blue.
I know exactly.
Who is so talented.
She's very talented.
Oh my gosh.
There's perif all over the place. And because we came up with 3-3-3 for an average, there is no opportunity for rounding. Peripheral babeness is used for a rounding opportunity.
Can I be honest with you? I think we've rounded subconsciously. I think we've rated a couple things a little higher because the movie as a whole provided the perif.
The movie is a whole.
Oh, nice.
So
3-3-3 is
yeah,
as high as
Bond
we can
Girls
go.
is a 9. It's a 9 out of
That's-
15. This is an opportunity missed. We're having vodka, and we could have done martinis.
Ooh.
That's on us, and you can
Shaken, not
yeah,
stirred.
Yeah, you can deduct that from our Bondness score that
Yeah.
we missed that opportunity.
Yeah, give us a 99 on
yeah,
this one.
yeah, absolutely. We apologize.
One of the
Action.
categories that actually scores well because there's lots of it. Some of it sucks balls, but it's still action, and we punish production quality for bad action. The amount of action is what we register here, and there's a lot.
Well done. It's well done. Yeah.
The mini plane is cool.
The mini plane is
Bond is not
awesome.
cool, but the plane is cool.
Plane is so
it's a real
cool.
plane that flies.
The stuff that they had to do to capture those shots.
Yeah.
They built little models and
The
everything.
setup to go through the hangar.
It's
oh my
so
gosh.
cool. It's so cool. The final explosion of the plane at the end. Such a shame that they missed that shot.
Yeah.
If they'd caught what actually happened. Here's what happened, okay? The filmmakers had rigged up this plane to be launched off a cliff. It was filled with explosives. They send it off this catapult, and they're filming from choppers. All of a sudden, this plane, which is unmanned at this point, right? Because they want just a plane crash. And it dives right down, goes about 1,000 feet, and then levels out and starts to fly. I think it went, what did he say, that it went over Interstate 9 or something like that? So it flew much closer to an interstate than insurance
Anybody
would
wanted.
hope for. And then rounded a corner and was gone, out of sight. And the choppers came around and found that it had crashed, and they missed the shot of the crash. So they had to recreate the plane crash with a model, and that showed. And it was such a shame. I was telling my wife that would have been
a good shot.
such a cool shot.
Yeah.
It would have been really, really cool. But action, it's jam-packed.
It's good.
It's
good.
jam-packed.
You got the rickshaw chase. You got the attack on Khan's lair. You got the mini plane. You got the fights. You got the train scene.
A few lulls, not a lot, a few.
It's odd for a bad
slow.
movie. They followed the formula for action.
Yes. So what did we wind up for action?
I think we went 9.
I think we did too. Big 4.
So let us take a moment to praise Robert Brown.
He's done very,
That's
very
an
well.
admirable task. We mentioned last time that the longtime actor who played M passed away, was not in For Your Eyes Only, but now it's time. You have to replace the actor. Bernard Lee is no more. We remember him fondly. God bless your soul. But now Robert Brown has come in, and it feels like you don't miss a beat. It's like a football player when one guy fumbles the ball and it bounces up into another guy's hand and he just takes off. It's like nothing happened. And Robert Brown does a stellar job.
He would have gotten a 5, except for one thing. M is not an errand boy. Bond sends word to M, and M shows up and gives him his travel documents and sends him on his way.
That's a Moneypenny job. He's the frickin' head of MI6.
That does not happen. That is
He's
not
Bond's
M.
boss.
That is not what M does.
I
And
think they might have been just trying to give him more screen time.
I believe you're right.
But it's a
I
mistake.
believe you're right.
It's
but
a
it
mistake.
is. There should have been some other development for him to wind up there.
Would have been a great time for them to have a conversation in the office, him and Moneypenny, and him send her to him.
Right.
So we get more of her, and he's not the errand boy.
Or if M showed up and said, "Hey, let me introduce you to your counterpart from the U.S., Felix Leiter."
Oh, even better.
I'm a fucking genius.
Oh my God.
So M gets a 4 out of 5.
I don't even know why we bother talking about the next category.
No, when Desmond Llewellyn shows up,
He's a
and
5.
he shows up on location.
Goes in his lab.
He's got like doors swinging open and impaling fake Russian dummies.
He flies the balloon
It's
for crying out
awesome.
loud.
It's awesome.
He's a 5.
He's so good.
He's a 5.
And when he tells Magda that he doesn't have time for her, but maybe later, come on.
Oh.
Get it, Desmond.
Oh.
So
He was going to do that right there, and then he saw her mouth and said,
yeah. Moneypenny.
I think it needed to be punished for the whole small bone thing.
I know.
Like, we're going to have to replace Lois. Let's start with this girl. It was dumb. For the admin to have an admin is dumb.
It is dumb. Here's the other problem. This was a surprise to Lois Maxwell. She showed up for her scene and discovered her replacement.
Like a friend of a friend that they brought in to do the...
Yeah, and that's why she didn't go off on her. And good on her for not doing that.
She's a
good
pro.
on her for keeping it together.
And she's Canadian.
Because
They're nice
that's a
people.
bullshit move. That sucks.
And she was not cute enough to get away with this. I wanted to give her a 1.
I know.
To punish Smallbone, but Lois doesn't deserve that.
I've got hashtag
She
justice
deserves
for Lois. Yep.
We'll give it 2.
It's a sympathy
because
2.
that's bullshit.
It's a sympathy 2 because that sucked.
God, she's so
And
old now.
you know, I love her so much, and her commentary in the documentary was heart-wrenching.
10 years ago? 8 years ago? Yes. Now?
Oh, I'm not quite there yet.
So let's talk about VJ.
VJ's awesome.
We have an unofficial category, cohort. The guy that shows up to help Bond, and it usually happens when there's no Felix because these people are stupid. And VJ is awesome. He's a lot of help. And do you remember him? He was a professional tennis player. All that tennis stuff they did, he was still a pro at the time they did this movie.
Funny. It's really funny when he's talking about being a member at the country
He's
club.
getting better,
And he says,
his
well,
backhand's improved.
my backhand's
Yeah.
improved. And it's like, what?
VJ got to number 23 in the world.
Oh, yeah.
He made the quarterfinals of 4 majors.
Yeah.
Then he went on to a pretty successful career as a commentator. And the guy is funny. And he looks natural in the movie. So good on VJ. Felix gets a big fat goose egg.
Big Fat Zero. So many Big Fat Stupids are taking place in Roger Moore films.
It's almost over, people. It's almost over.
Can we talk about VJ for one more minute?
Sure.
With the cobra. No one knew if that thing was defanged or not. So if it bites you, he's like, no, well, if it bites you, then you die. And it's like, wait a second. What? There's footage of him handling this thing like it's
He's a
nothing.
gamer.
You couldn't pay me enough money
VJ was a gamer.
to grab a cobra and shove it back into a basket after this douchebag, Roger Moore, is smacking the basket to piss the snake off? F you, buddy.
He's a gamer.
Try it. All right, so let's catch this up. So we've got M at a 4, Q at a 5, Moneypenny 2, Felix 0.
Sold.
That gives us an 11 out of 20 for the big 4.
Yep. I feel like I shouldn't read my notes when it comes to the credits montage. But then you could always decide to remove it in post.
I think you should say it.
Okay, here we go.
Holy sh**. I don't think it's going in.
Rita Coolidge has got a very fine voice. She's a very fine singer. She was never cool. This song is not a Bond song. And it's not a very good song.
It's not. As a standalone. Sometimes we've had songs that are not Bond songs, but they're good songs. This one is neither. Song at a 3?
I don't know how we give it more than a 3. I feel bad even giving it a 3.
It's a 3. It's a decent
Is Rita
ballad.
Coolidge still alive? Rita Coolidge, if you're still alive, I apologize. But this is not the right song
This
for
is not the
a Bond
right
movie.
choice.
I apologize.
No, now we get to the visuals.
They were not bad.
Let's be honest, there were boobs all
There was a
over
lot going. They went from silhouettes to not
silhouettes. Well, they had some silhouettes in there, but they also included some decent visuals.
I wrote in my notes that it was an 8, but we should give it a bonus point for being good enough to help us forget the song. But when I rewatched it, I couldn't forget the song, so it doesn't get the bonus point.
No, it doesn't. I took exception to the laser projections on their body. I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like the close-ups of the wax castings of the guns. Didn't like that. The goofy smiles that woman is doing. The like twitchy smile.
It was like she was in fast motion. It was weird. It was
It's just
awkward. That was the
weird.
one awkward moment.
Yeah, that stood
It can't
out
be a
for me.
9.
I think an 8 is valid.
It's what a Bond opening montage should look like, even
Yep.
if it's got a shitty song.
Yep. So we're at a 3 and an 8 for 11 out of 20.
11.
Okay. Bond.
All right, here we go. There's a moment where he goes to see Octopussy on her floating palace, and she walks over to the liquor table and picks up a mixer that apparently already has stuff in it. She shakes it, and then the scene awkwardly cuts, and he's holding a glass with liquid in it. Never says the line.
We don't get the line.
He doesn't say the line. She doesn't say the line. There's just a thing in a mixer. Are we supposed to assume it's a vodka martini? She obviously shook it and didn't stir it, but nobody said anything. It could have been orange juice in that.
Yeah.
thing. We don't know.
Even if it was a vodka martini shaken and not stirred, that is an insufficient shake. I'm sorry.
It was a weak shake.
So that sucked. They have unnamed champagne.
Unnamed
at dinner.
champagne. Why
He
not name it?
Yeah, he shares some champagne with Magda, and then they share their lover's cup of unnamed champagne. Yes, Dave.
There's a scene where he goes to a bar.
Mm-hmm.
There is no reason for James Bond not to order his signature drink. Why would he not do that? It's a 1.
Yeah, 1 out of 5. Quotability. None of them are Bonds.
The asp
you said
song,
1.
The asp line.
You said 1,
Let
and that's
slide.
very average.
I have 5 miscues. Toro sounds like a load of bull.
hate.
That's awful. He gets stabbed in the chest, but they stab his money, and he says, "Thank God for hard currency."
This I'm about to shoot that. I need to. If we're going through his miscues.
He's handing out wads of cash to VJ and the other dude, and he says, "That will keep you in curry for a few weeks, you racist son of a b-."
I wasn't sure if that's what he said. Is that what he said?
That'll keep you in curry for a few weeks.
Oh boy.
And finally, when he's in the jungle, he tells a snake to hiss off.
Excuse me, just a second. Go ahead.
And he tells the tiger, he doesn't tell it to sit. That would be bad enough. He tells it to sit, which takes a stupid to stupider. Oh my God, he's awful.
We gave this thing a 2 for quotability because of the other characters that give us some good one-liners.
Spend the money quickly, Mr. Bond.
Love that.
That's a great line.
Love that.
No.
It's all in the wrist came from Khan
With the
too.
dice.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
When Khan also says, Mr. Bond is indeed a rare breed. soon to be extinct. That's fantastic.
That's a good
That's
bad guy
great.
line.
You have a nasty habit of surviving. Also cons.
Because they cast Louis Jordan, they're delivered well.
So well. So we've got quotes spread out in here.
Just not Bond.
We enjoyed them, and they stick with us. They're not his. It gets a 2.
It's a 2.
It's a 2. Gadgets pisses me off.
It pisses us off because it's
Gadgets is loaded.
Yep.
We've got the bomb briefcase from the opening sequence, the mini plane,
good. The mini plane was cool.
the homing beacon with a microfilm, which doesn't ever show up again, the acid fountain pen,
The magic pen was cool.
Magic
and it has
pen is
the
awesome.
the end thing with the
with
listening.
the earpiece, and then the radio and camera watch.
Yeah.
It's loaded with gadgets. It's
What
very
about the floaty crocodile? He's got a floaty crocodile. He sneaks into the thing in the floaty crocodile. That
Yeah,
was cool.
It's not cool.
It was
You're
all
wrong
right.
there.
It was
but it is a
okay.
gadget.
It's
so
a gadget.
Gadgets gets 5 out of 5. It's well done.
They had gadgets.
It's well done. Locations.
Russia, India, West Berlin, East Berlin.
South America.
We've said that it needs to be, you can't have this localized, I go to one place.
Right.
Bond's supposed to be roaming around the world, and they do that.
Yes, we're in Russia, but are we really? Don't know. You're supposedly showing up at the Kremlin Art Depot or whatever. So, okay, we'll give Moscow some credit. And then East Berlin, West Berlin.
You don't get to see much of it.
Nowadays, we say same city.
But back then,
different
you
back
didn't.
then. Different back then, so okay. give
And
it
lots of
credit.
India.
And lots of India.
Lots and lots of India.
Lots of India. In one place in India.
And the jungle.
Still the same
And the floating
damn
castle.
place. All in the same damn place. It could be a 4. I would have no argument giving it a 4 because we originally set this at a 5.
Let's give it a 5. In spite of the fact that it has a high degree of stupid, there are Bond things it does, and we have to resist the urge to punish it, even when it's doing the Bond things we expect. Country hopping around the globe, and it feels that way. This movie feels like it's supposed to.
So let's go 5 for locations.
This will make you feel better.
This might be up for debate.
No, it's not.
It might be.
It isn't.
We need to talk about it. We need to talk about the car.
There's no car.
That auto rickshaw. Hold on. I know you're going to be mad. Let's take into account the context of us being in India. These are the vehicles they're using. And VJ says it's a company car and then engages the super engine that has been loaded onto this
Who
thing.
drives it?
VJ.
VJ and his rickshaw can right off. I would sooner award points to the Sunbeam Alpine convertible English roadster
That's
that
weird.
Sean Connery drives in Dr. No.
That's weird. Did that have a souped up engine?
It had James Bond at the wheel.
Like this one did?
It had James Bond at the wheel.
Did we?
When's the
okay,
last time
Okay.
the henchman's
Hold on,
car at
hold
the
on.
This is a 0.
Then we'll give this one a 0.
It's a 0.
Yep. Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
No
that we
car,
were being
there's no
fair.
car.
So we've got a 12550.
Okay.
13 out of 25 for Bond.
I mean, it could be worse.
It could be worse. I'm surprised that it scored this high. Production quality.
I have to ask a question to open this category. In the beginning, there's a clown, and the clown is escaping from a circus.
Correct.
And the clown leaves a trail so ugly even I could follow it. He runs away like a panicked bitch. And then I find out later he's a 00 agent.
Yeah.
Why is he a bitch?
It's so far beyond ridiculous.
He's a 00 agent. He has no training, has no skills of eluding bad guys.
He has no pistol. Fight back.
Take the clown shoes off. Run. Hide.
No, hate it.
That was stupid.
I hate it. This is a mix of production quality and X Factor here. So we're talking about James Bond. What is his gun?
Walter PPK.
We've replaced the Walter PPK with a Walter P5.
Okay.
I don't like it. We see newer Walters as Bond evolves, but we know that his pistol is the PPK. It only shows up, I think, for the opening credits, if I'm not mistaken.
Which doesn't make any sense.
No. Then we get to Gobinda's... I don't know what it is.
Is Blunderbuss?
It's a blunderbuss, but not really. So when he gets into his auto rickshaw, he opens the breech of a Remington exposed hammer shotgun and loads in 2 12-gauge shells, locks it up, and then we pan to the barrel of this thing being a fluted barrel like a blunderbuss.
Oh my God.
There's no reason for him to be unlocking the breech of a Remington 12-gauge and then blunderbuss barrel. Stupid. A good chunk of the Russian guards are carrying 22 long rifle conversion AK-47s. Like it's so
Is
bad.
it like this is all we can get on our budget?
It's so bad. I have no explanation for the gate guard at the Air Force Base to be firing his Smith & Wesson into the air after someone has just ran the gate.
Instead of shooting
That
it at
makes
the guy who
no
just ran the
sense.
gate.
You run that thing dry into the cab of that car like you wouldn't believe. He doesn't do that. He just shoots up into the air like this.
Because that's going to stop it.
Yeah. So I have a few issues with the weapons in this film.
Ask me a question.
What's that?
If her guards are hot.
Are her guards?
I have no idea. I can't tell.
I can't get past
because
it.
I was distracted by the outfits.
It's the same level of
Stupid.
so bad. And I don't know whether it's stolen from Greatest American Hero or it's stolen from Dr. Seuss. Either way, it's
2 years.
ass.
Greatest American Hero previewed 2 years before Octopussy. I got to tell you, I balked at the backgammon game. Why isn't he playing Baccarat? Because that's what Bond plays. But this scene turned out to be cool.
Yes. Yeah, it worked out well. The hairdryer interference with
Oh my God.
the earpiece. Now,
Upstairs?
I understand. Okay.
It was upstairs.
In the 80s, it's understood that hairdryers would sometimes interfere with radio transmissions. When you're in the same damn room. We're talking about Magda being up on level 2,
in the
Bond
freaking
being in the
basement.
basement of a stone freaking castle.
That was a stupid.
In the next room over, Bond can't hear what his microchip is picking up.
Stupid.
It's a big stupid. The
Complain about
Tarzan yell. That's coming out of both.
The Tarzan. Now wait a
yell-
second. Now wait a second. The Tarzan yell is not a problem with production quality.
Yes, it is.
The Tarzan yell is a sin. They should not be docked points in production quality. They should burn
at
in
the stake.
hell.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
It is actually, I didn't think it was possible, but it's worse than the sound effect that happens in The Man with the Golden Gun.
Thank you.
When he
Jumps the
when
car.
he Dukes of Hazzard jumps the AMC over the river. This is an international spy thriller. We're supposed to be worried at some point that this maniacal Russian bastard is going to detonate a nuclear bomb on a U.S. Air Force base. And I can't be nervous about it because I'm too busy laughing at the movie. How do you do a spy thriller and make that mistake?
Last thing to bring up is the circular saw yo-yo. That's the weapon of choice from the hitmen that Gobinda finds to go kill Bond.
I'm going to repeat some in X Factor.
For sure. Production quality is not going to get hammered as much as it could.
Because it's a 1983 higher quality visual production. Some of the stunts are great.
This is a spot to call out some of the stunts.
Yeah.
You know, they had an aerial stunt team to actually film on the plane, and
That's
that final sequence where Gobinda and Bond are fighting outside the plane. They did that, okay? That was a real thing. The train sequence, one of the stuntmen got badly injured.
Oh, bad. Practically lost his leg, didn't he?
Close.
Yeah, it was bad.
He broke his leg. He broke his hip, ribs. He's dangling off the side of the train car, and they had practiced filming in one section of the track and not another. They made the assumption that it was all going to be similar terrain. It was not. There was a concrete stanchion between one station and another that they were unaware of. The stuntman was hanging on the side of the car and took the full impact at full speed to the left side of his body and somehow managed to hang on.
Kind of a tough son of a bitch.
He hung
Holds on to the train.
It's
That
unbelievable.
is one. What is his name? That is one tough son of a bitch.
I'll put his name up here.
Oh
I'll
my
put
God.
a picture of him up here.
That deserves
because
a little credit.
He did survive. I
He's
think
a badass.
I think he spent 6 months in the hospital.
He's a
is what they
badass.
said.
He's a badass.
And came back and
Yeah.
visited the film crew. which was very cool.
Yeah.
They were all very supportive of him and very concerned about what had happened. Roger Moore was with him a lot of the time. He was in the hospital.
Yeah.
So I don't like Roger Moore,
No,
but
but
good
he's
on
not
him
an
for that.
asshole.
No, exactly right. So, some of the stuntmen deserve some extra
Some
points.
shout out.
We could have pummeled this a little bit harder than we did, but let's stick with a 6 out of 10 for production quality.
The stunts and cinematography earned it a 6.
Yes.
I can tell you right now, X Factor's not getting no 6. Let me do some math. Let us just generously give X Factor a 10. I have a few deductions. We're going to subtract 1 point for Govinda running around India with a blunderbuss. We're going to subtract 1 point for Bond's Tarzan yell. That's shameful enough to lose more than 1 point. We're going to deduct 1 point. We're going to subtract 1 point for the jungle combo of the deadly tarantulas telling a tiger to sit and telling a poisonous snake to hiss off. We're going to subtract 1 point for the yo-yo saw weapon thing because, as Nick says, it was ass.
It's ass.
We're going to subtract 1 for the bizarre gun close-ups that you already pointed out. We're subtracting 1 for Roger Moore literally being a clown. Clock is ticking. He stops to put on clown makeup. We're subtracting 1 for Christina Wayborn's mouth. Oh my God.
When she kisses just anyone. Yeah.
We're subtracting 1 for Bond, who, with the clock ticking on worldwide destruction, gets bullied by an old lady at a phone booth. If you're keeping track, that's 10 minus 8.
I have
It's a 2.
I have no arguments. I have no arguments at all.
Right? If I'm clicking channels and I come across Octopussy, I just keep going. I won't stop to watch any of them.
There is no world where I recommend this movie to somebody.
You can't.
Unless you're undertaking a journey like ours.
If it's a personal service.
I do not enjoy this thing. I have never enjoyed this thing.
No.
On our first watch, it did okay. On our second watch, we got brought back down to earth. And it's not something that I would ever recommend to anybody. I can't for the life of me believe we have another Roger Moore film. There's no multiverse that I can picture that says, oh, let's bring him back for one more. The guy is a dinosaur.
I gotta ask, as we've seen in the past, replacing the actor who plays James Bond is not just it's difficult.
It's hard.
And we're hard on them when they get it wrong. I wonder how much that whole situation impacted this situation where they said to themselves, hell, if he's willing to do another one, that puts this off. It's still the wrong decision, but at least in that scenario, I think I can understand why they were stuck.
I'm having a hard time with it.
It's hard.
I'm having
it's because
a really
it's
hard time with it. Okay.
We're going to do some quick maths. It's going to be right over here on my face.
I'm putting the math all over Dave's face.
And then we'll be back to review math.
All right, we're back. I'm going to run through this very quickly because we don't need to dwell on this any more than we already have.
It's been long enough.
Plot, we have a 4.
4.
Bond, we have 6.
Yep.
Villain, 6.
Yes.
Henchman, 5.
Yeah.
Bond Girls, 9.
Yeah.
Action, 9.
Yeah.
The Big 4, 11.
Yes.
Credits montage, 11.
Surprisingly.
Bondness is 13.
Yes.
Production quality at 6.
Yep.
And X Factor at 2.
Yes.
82 points out of 150 for a 54.7%.
Yes.
But it doesn't truly reflect how I feel about this one.
No.
God, this movie sucks.
There's a collection of movies at the bottom here. We don't like On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Right.
We don't like Moonraker. We don't like Diamonds Are Forever. Yeah,
We don't like it really, but we were happy to have it
and
back.
we don't like Octopussy.
No, it scores low. It's
low.
This is low.
Well, and again, one of the things we've learned is that there's two things going on. It's not one thing. There's two things going on. There's how many points the thing scores on our scale, and then there's how much do we actually like the movie.
Yeah, usually they line up pretty well.
Yeah.
This, I think, scores better than we feel about it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If you gave me the option to watch any of the first 5 Sean Connery movies or this, I'd pick any one of those over
Yeah,
this one.
yeah.
If you asked me to watch any of the movies that come after Roger Moore or this, I would pick any of those movies over this one. It's just not a good movie.
It's not good. No. We had a lovely vodka.
This is a really good vodka, and again, we plan on exploring the rest of their lineup. They make a bourbon. It's not a bourbon that connects to any of our movies, but we're gonna try it.
This played in so well.
And I had no trouble getting it.
Port Chilkoot, we really did enjoy this. Again, not a vodka drinker, but
I'm coming to visit you guys.
this is excellent.
It's
stuff.
good.
And
I
I look
recommend
forward to more samples.
Sampling some more stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
Absolutely. What do we have next?
Okay, so
Shit.
I believe it's the worst ever James Bond movie ever created on planet Earth. That's part of the Eon Bond cinematic universe. A View to a Kill, where Old Man Bond is now Old Man Bond's dad. And this is a movie that's so bad, Nick. I don't think if you went into 1962 in your time machine and grabbed Sean Connery and brought him forward, he couldn't save this stinker. Daniel Craig couldn't say it. No one could. This is a movie so bad, it doesn't matter who's playing Bond. There's no saving it. But we're going to talk about it, and we have a bourbon up here that is going to make it a little bit better.
Oh, the bourbon's going to make it a lot
It's
better.
one of the best bourbons.
Bourbon is going to...
It's top 2.
It's going to help a lot. The bourbon is up here. There is an obvious reason that we chose it. Feel free to send in your guess.
Points.
Pick out which one it is. We'll give you points. I am willing to award somebody 1,000 points.
1,000 points that have no value?
1,000 points.
Wow.
Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Send us your comments. Send us your criticisms so that we can continue to flex our rightness all over you. It's something that gives us just immense joy. Until next time, I'm Nick.
And I'm Dave.
Cheers.
Cheers. Whoever thought Rita Coolidge was a good idea should suck the dick of the asshole who thought Madonna was a good idea.